Oftentimes when I talk about 1031 exchanges and how you can actually prevent yourself from having to pay taxes legally, people always get a little bit confused. They might understand kind of how the process works and understand that there is a thing called 1031. But what does that actually mean, and how does that benefit us, and sort of what is the like-kind exchange? So in today's video, I want to explain that. 1031 comes from the actual tax code, which is listed under 1031, which is how it ends up being called 1031 exchange. It's just a number in the code that you can find this particular law. And your accountant, attorney, and of course the 1031 exchange professionals can help you. I am not it. I am just going to give you a brief large picture overview so you understand it. I'm basically a user of it, not necessarily in the industry with it. So I'm just a guy who end up using it, and I want to help you in case you decide that you want to use it with your properties. Now, like-kind exchange is what gets a lot of people stuck. And like-kind exchange doesn't mean that if I have a purple house, I have to buy a purple house. If I have a one-bedroom condo, I have to buy a one-bedroom condo. It means that I have to purchase something that is very similar to it. So if I have real estate, I need to buy real estate. Pretty simple. But if I have a single-family home, I can buy a multifamily home, or I can buy multiple multifamily homes depending on what my proceeds are. So let's go deeper into this whole thing. Let's assume that you have a house that you have purchased for $100,000. And let's assume that right now the value of it is $300,000 because you held on to it for quite a bit and it appreciated in value, which is one of the benefits, not the only benefit, but one of the benefits of being in real estate and purchasing in areas where there's appreciation happening. So another benefit, of course, being able to rent it, being able to put some sweat equity, as it's known, by fixing it and doing some things to raise that value of that property. By renting it, of course, I'm generating cash flow, which I can then use to pay off my mortgage, put some money aside, and create a beautiful lifestyle for myself. All of those things are possible, and that's why a lot of people really enjoy real estate. And of course, tax benefits are phenomenal. 1031 exchange is one of those tax benefits that we as investors get to enjoy. Now, out of this thing, if the value is 300, the price that I paid is 100,000. That means that my proceeds are going to be roughly $200,000. Now, of course, we know that there are some closing costs that are happening on both the selling side, the buying side. So it's not going to be exactly 200,000, but let's do this for the ease of math right now. If I know that $200,000 is what I'm going to be paying or what I'm going to be receiving, and I end up using the intermediary, okay, which is basically the 1031 exchange professionals, and that means that I'm going to pay 0% in taxes, meaning I get to keep all of the proceeds. Now, I know that I'm going to use this as a down payment only, so that I know that I can go and shop for a property valued at $1 million. Now, for this to happen, there are certain rules that you have to follow. For example, when the property sells, you only have so many days in order to find a different property or multiple properties that you will invest in. And you have to use all of the proceeds. So you can't purchase necessarily something for $100,000 and then pocket the rest of it. It doesn't work that way. The moment that you receive a single penny from the profits, I can't speak. As long as you receive a single penny from the profits, that's a lot of P's, you are then liable to pay taxes. And if you're looking to avoid those, I recommend not planning on receiving any of those, but rather transferring them into a like-kind exchange. And the like-kind exchange might be that I am buying two different properties at, say, 100,000 is going to go here, 100,000 is going to here, right? And I'm going to buy two properties. Or maybe I can find an apartment community that I can invest my money in, and I'm able to then maximize not just on the net worth, right, of the equity of what I'm purchasing, of in this case 1 million, but I'm also then maximizing on the number of rental checks that I am receiving. A lot of times when we go into 1031 exchanges, and again, your professional, the agency that you select to work with, will be able to guide you. Make sure that you connect with them the moment that you list the property so that you understand exactly what needs to happen. Because once this sells, the time is of the essence, truly. You typically have, certain things have to happen within 45 days, certain things have to happen within 180 days, and these things may shift as the law changes and shifts as well. So make sure you keep tabs with them, and they will guide you what needs to happen. But what ends up happening is that I will find different properties, I will get under the contract, and I will use my 1031 exchange advisor or intermediary agency to then wire the money directly to the seller of these properties that I am then able to purchase. So that's basically what 1031 exchange is. It allows me to use a third party to hold my money. I'm the beneficiary of it. I don't get to lose any of it, right? And as long as I follow the rules within the specified time frame, I am then able to purchase more with the same amount of money. A few years later, maybe I decide to 1031 this into something bigger. The concept, the overall concept is that you have to kind of move on up, so you cannot keep going down. The basic economy of this is that they want you to put the money in good use, and good use is always moving on up, so to say. So that's sort of what the 1031 exchange is, and that whole LikeKind Exchange is. If you're interested for super specific details that are pertinent to your particular say economy or where you are right now, what's happening, I recommend that you reach out to your accountant, reach out to an attorney, and of course, by all means, reach out to 1031 exchange intermediaries that exist out there. But again, make sure you do your own due diligence and your own research to find a good, reputable company that is going to guide you and educate you throughout the process. If you have enjoyed this video and you believe that somebody in your life can benefit from it, please do make sure you share it, make sure you subscribe, and that way you will be able to notify it and see all the other videos that exist out there. If you have more questions about 1031 exchange, I have done another video on it, and make sure you take a look at it as well. Until next time, stay forever money blessed, and do remember, you are only one deal away.
I want you to be happy. Don't you want to be happy? I want to be happy.